Don't get demonetized.
I swear.
Straight away in the first 10 seconds, man.
Fuck.
I'm gonna have to bleep so much of this out.
I don't.
Alright, man. Welcome to the first episode of, I don't even know what we're gonna call this.
Beat talk.
Beat talk. Beat chat.
Beat chat.
You know? Beat your ass.
Yeah. You're saying to me about cursing.
But we're currently in Phuket, Thailand.
Yeah.
TUNNA moved out here, so I'm visiting, and basically this is the first episode of. Actually, this is the first time we've like kind of talked on camera.
Yeah,
we've been working for like
for 12 years.
nearly a decade and a half, and between us we probably have close to 30 years of industry experience.
Definitely.
Nearly close to on the top end. So yeah, this episode we're just gonna kind of dive into what is the benefits of staying independent versus the benefits of signing.
And for those who don't know, this is a BMIKE, and he's a very successful independent.
I go by the name of BMIKE, and this is, for lack of a better term, the guy who's like produced everything I've made.
So you had millions and millions of views and many offers for record labels.
Yeah.
What made you stay independent? Why did you choose to stay all these years?
Yeah. Well, firstly, like we should probably establish we're not like part of the independent space where we're anti-signing.
Yeah.
We're not at all. Not at all. Like I am a part of the music industry in the independent, let's say, space, but I'm not anti-signing. In fact, the beginning of my career, I wanted to be signed. I was kind of forced into being independent, and one thing I would say is there's actually, a percentage of artists that I believe would benefit more from being signed.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a lot of artists that just don't want to deal with the business side of things at all.
Which is like a headache.
It's a headache. If you enjoy it like we do, then you're probably gonna enjoy being independent. There is if you can withstand the stress, the dedication, and not being paid up front, and you sometimes waiting years for the fruits of your labor to pay off, then I'd say independent is for you, and going that route will benefit you if you can do those things, will benefit you more in the long run if you end up signing anyway, because you would have built more leverage.
Definitely. Like one of the craziest story that we had probably is your what was the name of the song, Erica song?
Yeah.
It's like you directed a whole video.
Yeah.
With like a huge cast in it. Huge budget and everything independently.
Yeah.
Like how did that went?
Well, I would say I did that. I didn't do that by choice. I'm kind of a control freak by nature, so directing the film side of things was not.
Even with the production.
Yeah, but I'm much better these days.
True.
Well, I think I trust you, so I'm just like hands off with the production.
More,
but if I had to work with other people, we'd have to build that relationship. But as far as like a video with Erica, which is done, I don't know how, like 13 million on YouTube.
Yeah.
That was a headache, and that was a big budget, like I put $8,000 of my own money into that, and that was just on the video.
Yeah, on the video, not even flying in LA and booking accommodations and stuff.
That had nothing to do with the audio side of things, which we were, we handled in-house. But if someone else had to do it, man, there's so many mosquitoes out here. Wow. But yeah, like a big budget thing like that, and that took, I'd say, 2 years to recoup.
Yeah.
I definitely would not recommend doing high budget things if you're starting out as an indie artist at all. You got an iPhone, that's it. That's your music video.
Definitely. Especially nowadays with all the TikTok and Reels and YouTube Shorts.
Exactly. And back to what we were saying before, the benefits of being signed is there's artists out there who just want to make art. They just want to make music, and they're great at it, and they're so efficient at doing just that they don't mind having a lot of cuts within the pie.
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously you're gonna have to traditionally when you're signed, you most likely your lawyer is taking a percentage. You're not paying per hour. Wow, these are big mosquitoes. You're gonna have a business. Yeah, you have a business manager which is gonna take 5%. You have a manager which is gonna take 20%, and you're gonna have your lawyer which takes 5%. So right off the bat, when you're signed, you have 30% of your gross gone. My word. And you're probably not going to question a lot of things because you're going to be like, that's their job. Handle it.
Yes.
I've got friends who are very successful artists who are signed, and I'm like, oh, what do you owe on the back end? How much are you in debt? They're like, I don't know. I'm like, how do you not know this? I'm like, what are your splits? I don't know. I'm like, so what? How much is the label taking? I don't know. Is your manager taking 20% net, or is he taking 20% gross?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like, bro, you should know these things. These are things that there are some things that you should know whether you're signed or not, because you're gonna end up in a hole and you're not gonna know what's up, what's down, what's left, what's right, and you're not gonna know why.
Yeah, definitely.
So I would say those are things you definitely should know. As far as my experience went, I wanted to be signed, and it didn't work out. The label basically did not want me, and it just forced me to learn the business.
Yeah.
Forced me to understand how things work. And so for someone who enjoys partaking in, I'm gonna, for lack of a better term, the shitty side of the industry. Yeah. If you can find a passion within that, then go independent. If you kind of want a hands-off experience, and you just want to make music, and you're at the point where labels want you, I would say sign.
Yeah, definitely.
It's sometimes I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is not worth the stress. Yeah. Like it is stressful. I'm not gonna lie. Like if someone had to, I've had plenty of offers. Some of them I probably, in hindsight, they were not long. They were like 1-2 years. In hindsight, I probably would have taken them. There's no, the risk factor isn't high. Especially, I got offered something during COVID. Yeah. In hindsight, I probably would have taken that. That was just 2 years. Everyone was inside anyway. Yeah, it's not like I was, a huge risk. Yeah. So it really depends. And, for that reason, I'm not anti-industry. It just so happened that my path took me this way.
Yeah. I think nowadays most artists choose independent, but not because they don't want to get signed.
Yeah.
It's just because it's the opportunity that they can have independent is already there. Like they don't need a big label unless they really want to be part of the machine.
And if I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit here, I would say, in some areas, it's much easier to blow up now, but in some areas during like the time when we started coming up, it's a lot harder. SoundCloud's gone. You're not gonna blow up off SoundCloud anymore. I don't even think it's close to, like, it's not impossible, but it's way more difficult to blow up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know the last time I seen a viral video. Like, viral videos for me are a thing of the past. Like, now you kind of just gotta, the thumbnail plays so much importance. The algorithm just does not favor, like, virality like it used to. Back then, the threshold, not the threshold, but like the amount of content that was being uploaded back then was much less.
Yeah, definitely.
So there was way less competition for the algorithms' favor.
I think also nowadays a lot more people are into shorter videos than because Erica is like, how long?
It's nearly a 7-minute video.
7 minutes. Nobody's gonna watch 7-minute video.
But you know what's crazy? We're seeing a comeback. I think for so long people are getting tired of these 1.5-minute songs.
Probably. Yeah.
That is so weird to me, because when I grew up, songs, especially rap music, had 3 or 4 verses.
Yeah.
You're talking 5-minute songs was normal. Go listen to the Marshall Mathers LP. It's normal. It's normal to have a 5-minute song.
I remember when I was in high school back in the days, there was one rapper, I cannot remember even his name. He had song that was going for 11 minutes.
Yeah, I know. You're talking of Dance with the Devil? Dance with the Devil, Immortal Technique?
Immortal Technique, no.
How many minutes? Isn't that like 11 minutes?
Very long song as well, yeah. But this song was from first, second, until the last song, just bars.
Oh, right.
And the beat was rising and stuff, but it was only bars, 11 minutes. I'm like, nobody's gonna listen to that anymore.
Yeah, well, the thing is now, we are so trained, I'm not gonna say trained, but we're so programmed now to to want melody.
Yeah.
I don't know many rappers right now that don't have melody, and they're maybe not singing, but they're rapping with a melody.
With the melody.
You know, back in the days, there were some artists that were like melodically just weren't even there. They just rapped. They just rapped, and you know, it worked. But now everything is so synonymous.
Yeah.
Like hip hop, in my opinion, has changed. Not just it's the game within itself, but worldwide. I hear trap drums in almost every genre. Even pop singers now, they rap. I mean, even Taylor Swift raps in some of her songs.
True.
Like, you may not call it a rap, but she like talks in rhyme. That's basically rapping. And you know, if you're looking at K-pop, they're rapping.
K-pop a lot.
And because now rapping is so synonymous, I mean, you look at there's artists out there right now like who do. They're rappers. Post Malone is considered a rapper.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard Post Malone rapping ever. Like he is such a great vocalist, but it's so weird. He gets put in the rap category at award shows, which is so weird to me, because how could you put Post Malone up against Joey Badass? How? They're not in the same.
Yeah, I think there should be a new category for this kind of thing, because when we say a rap music, you know, we think of Eminem, we think of 50 Cent, we think of Tupac, you know, like, and they put like.
But how come they would never put a Post Malone in the same genre as an Ariana Grande? And in my opinion, he's closer to that than he is to a Kendrick or a J. Cole or a Drake. They're not even like. It just would not happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very, very strange thing nowadays, because I think so many genres are like crossing.
Yeah, crossovers for sure. I mean, like he's country almost now.
Yeah.
And like, what is country? I mean, we just watched the Grammys and Beyonce won Best Country Album. That was very strange for me because I actually like country. A lot. I listen, you know, but I don't know where this trend for hating country came from, but I remember like, I love all music except I love country. Like for me, Morgan Weller is one of my, and I like Tennessee whiskey has always been like a favorite of mine since 2016 when I first heard it. So it's very weird what the gatekeeping of entry into certain things. You know, everything is taking a turn now. So we're in a weird space. But if we're going on a tangent now, other benefits I would say with staying independent is the frequency in which you get paid.
Yes.
Right. You've got some songs with a label.
Yeah. And
you're gonna get paid bi-yearly, sometimes yearly.
Crazy.
Yeah. Like so. I would say, from a business standpoint, the negative side of that is your money.
Yeah.
And it's being held in someone else's account or in another company's acquiring interest. That belongs to you.
Yeah, definitely.
But on paper, it's not yours until payday.
Yeah.
So for me, you get monthly checks being independent. However, it feels like it's weekly because you may get a Spotify check this week, and next week Apple Music, the next week YouTube Music, the next week Pandora, and it feels like you get paid weekly.
But that is now we are entering in space of artists who do get paid. What advice or suggestion or idea would you give to an artist who have like 50 monthly listeners who are like a very, very beginning, and obviously they're not going to see check for a very long time?
Well, this is where like platforms like BeatSplit are your biggest ally, because one, in my opinion, this could revolutionize the independent space. And the reason I say that is because fortunately for me, when I met you, I was delivering pizzas. You were picking up fruit in some village in the middle of Eastern Europe, and you know, you wanted to build with an artist, and I wanted to build with a producer, and we were. Actually, it's so weird because he taught me how to make money online.
Yeah.
I was not making. I remember he told me he was earning about $140 a month. I'm like, a month? How? How are you making so much money? That is insane. And you know, he taught me how to use YouTube AdSense and how and I remember within a couple months I literally quit my job. I quit college, sat my mom down, but that's for another time. I would say platforms like ours, BeatSplit, there is no risk, right? The producer, the artist, full transparency, cut down the middle. You split both publishing and master, 50% down the middle. You get yours, he gets his or her, sorry, and or they, and that way, it's just easier on everybody, and you don't need to worry about forking out, hundreds of dollars before you've even laid a vocal down. So for me, I would say a platform with free for-profit beats in a split scenario is like a godsend. When we're talking about that. But if you have to put in the work, and you can't expect to see results. You have to be able to find joy within 10 to 20 plays. I remember my first night uploading on YouTube, I woke up to 13 plays. Yo, I wanted to run across the whole town.
I know, right?
If you can't find joy in that, forget it. You need to find joy in man, I'm pretty sure I had the first time I was able to get 1 million views in a song in a month.
Yeah.
I think I had more joy with the 14.
Yeah.
Like those 14, I had 2 comments. 2 people commented on and I was like, how do you like me?
Yeah.
What am I? That's it. I'm done. I'm about to be famous. When I saw those 14 views, I was out of here, bro. That was crazy to me.
But I know, I told you, I heard, even before we get in touch, I heard about you on YouTube.
Yeah.
Which was crazy. And you had 2 songs at the time that took off. Was a Baby Don't Cut and was
Dear Dad. Actually, I had 3. It was also Life in My Stomach.
Life in My Stomach.
Yeah.
True, actually.
Yeah.
Third one.
And here's the thing about being indie.
But you mixed everything by yourself at the time.
Yes, so that's the other thing. You got to be comfortable with not having the best quality. I didn't care. You could, there's songs out there that made me thousands that I recorded on a webcam microphone. Who cares?
Yeah.
You got to who cares about quality at that stage in your career? You can't be worried about that. You're not. You stop comparing yourself to The Weeknd, bro. Like, if you want to sing, fine. Just make do with what you got. You got to become a mini IKEA. You got to own your means of operation, and just YouTube is free.
Free. Everything is
free. And there's more information.
Free.
Yeah.
YouTube is free. TikTok is free.
Everything back then was harder to do. There was less information.
Yeah.
I was cracking plugins and putting so many viruses on my computer back in the day.
ChatGPT, do this for me. Like, everything is so easy, and I think if you are not doing it, you just don't want it hard enough.
You don't want it bad enough for sure. Yeah. No, there's so much available now. So I would say celebrate your little wins, because those little dopamine hits are going to sustain you, and you're going to find, if you can do that, you're going to find that you don't even want to go out with friends. Nah, I'm staying in, boy. I got 13 plays. I'm about to get 20 tomorrow, and when you find the other thing is, find a local community of people that you guys can bounce off of.
Yeah, and share ideas.
That's definitely what helped me too.
Yeah, definitely. Like, even like when we were working on what was the name of album?
Faith, Fate, Hope.
No, second one.
Oh, Black Heart Boulevard.
Third one.
Cabin Fever.
So many. So when we work on Cabin Fever, even though this one didn't get the biggest numbers as we previously had, like with an anxiety for example,
yeah.
It wasn't about the end goal, but with the process of making. Yeah. So exactly what you say, you need to find the joy in the process of making music.
You literally need to detach from all outcomes. And just do it for the love, and then the money will come as a secondary thing, and it will literally be like, at one point, where am I getting this check from? What is this? What's this? And you don't even realize.
You don't even know.
But that's because you loved making it. And be comfortable with setbacks, because I still get them. I put out a song 6 months ago. It has 30K views, bro. I used to shit out 30K views. So you gotta be comfortable with putting your all into something, because you have to understand something. You may be making music, but it doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the world. Once you put it out there, forget it. Okay, don't forget it. You need to promote it. But I mean, forget your expectations.
I remember meeting Abe from BeatStars, and he told me one very, very great thing that I always keep in mind. And he said,
and just for everybody, that's the founder of BeatStars.
Yeah. Abe. Shout out to Abe. But so he said to me, he said, you can love your music. Your music is your baby, and like you are passionate about it. But as soon as you put it out, it's no longer your music. It doesn't belong to you. It's a product. So you need to promote it.
Yeah.
As a product.
And one thing I would say, as much as you want to do things for the love, if you're going to choose to stay independent, if you want to make a living, like really make a living off of music, you need to treat it like a business. Separate your love for your music, all right? Better to go with the opinion straight off the bat that your shit sucks so bad. That's what I did. I'm so bad that even if I get a little something, I'm great.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying don't believe in yourself, but stop thinking you're God's gift to the music world. You need to understand that no one cares. You need to come in and just be happy to be here. Be happy that you're here and you're participating and you get to do things that you love, but you also need to be able to roll with the punches, because this industry is going to beat you down.
Yeah, I think it's important to keep in mind that it takes time to find your audience and your voice and your style and your signature. It's like it's a long road.
Yeah.
It does, for some people, happens much faster.
And definitely lose the ego, because you can always learn more.
Yeah, definitely.
For me, I hear some artists today and I'm like, wow. They'll be like hitting me up like, man, you're crazy. I'm like, bro, you're 10 times better than me in certain things. Lose the ego. No, but what I mean to say is everyone has room to improve, but also focus on your strengths. If you're a great rapper, focus on rapping and, do singing in the back, in practice, work on your craft, and when you're ready to put something out, do it. Take risks. Humility is free.
Definitely.
Just put it out. Give it to the world. You never know what can happen.
Yeah. And collab with artists. Like that's one of your best choices.
Yeah.
Is to reach out to people. Don't be afraid.
People, we're definitely going off the tangent here. But what would you say is the downside to being signed?
Downside of being signed?
Yeah.
Well, obviously the control.
Lack of creative control.
Lack of creative control, and lack of control in a sense of masters and royalties and general. Because
most artists. The labels are changing their approach. You know what is crazy for me? I used to get so many in I'd say 5 to 10 years ago within that area. You would get emails where labels want to sign you just literally for future projects.
Yeah.
Now, I'm getting hit up by not just labels, but like these, I don't even know what to call them. Are they like music hedge funds? They don't even want your future music. They just want to buy you out. They just want your back catalog. That's it. They're like, oh, we don't give a fuck about your new music.
Yeah.
We want this shit.
Yeah. They want what is proven.
Yo, I'm like, why? Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Like, leave me and my, like this right here, I'm straight. Yeah. But I would say I get on average at least 1 to 2 a week where these people trying to buy me out. Yeah. They'll be like, we have a dollar figure in mind. We'd like to buy you out. I'm like, this is crazy. Because as much as we say, give it out to the world, once the song's out, I'm still attached.
Yeah.
And I would really feel like I'm selling myself out a bit, because I don't know. It feels icky to take money for, and you're done. That's it. Yeah. They can do what they want with it once it's done. You know, and it's really weird how much the industry is changing. But yeah, back to what you were saying. Yeah, lack of control. You're gonna get a lot of money up front if you're at a point where you can sign and the label's willing to throw $1 million at you. First and foremost, like getting such a big amount in the beginning, you know, you're not gonna be able to earn that over a period of time, and you're gonna get hit. Like you're gonna be put in a way bigger tax threshold straight away because you're getting a big check up front. So you're not even gonna see majority of the money. Because definitely. You have expenses, blah blah blah. You have to live off that. You have to pay. Here's another thing: you gotta most likely use their engineers if you wanna recording their studios. It's not free. Where you get allocated sessions, you gotta pay for those sessions.
But I had couple of artists that were actually like signed by Warner and Universal with the big labels, and they were reaching out for me, as you know already when we had these conversations. They buy out beat from me for the artist, and these artists most of the time fail. Most of the time. That's why labels are looking for somebody who's already successful. Because it's very hard nowadays to build someone and hope he's going to blow up. So they put the money in, they 90% of the time fail, and sometimes happens to be.
But here's the worst part about that.
Very low.
Because they like, oh yeah, we made a mistake with this artist, but he's not going anywhere. We're not letting him put any music out for now. He just needs to sit tight, chill. And it's like...
They lock you in.
They lock you in. And if you do manage to do some good, you know, if you do manage to recoup some funds, you don't even pay back the funds with the entire share. If you're getting 11%, you got to pay back, let's say you take $1 million deal, you got to pay back that whole million with your 11%. So before you see a cent, I mean, I remember seeing a Logic interview. How many millions has he sold? And he said he never saw once royalty cent. He only got paid in advance. Because if you take a $4 million deal, which is probably what someone at his level at the time would have taken, $4 million. The standard contract is 11%. Drake's was 11. I'm pretty sure Post Malone's was 11 in the very beginning, which is quite standard for an artist. 11%. You gotta pay back the 10. Sorry, the 1 or the 4 with your 11%. So if you have $1 million debt, you gotta pay back 10 mil. Your music has to earn back 10 mil to pay back before you earn a cent of your 11%. And if it's, let's say, a 4 million, you have to recoup 40 million.
But just
that is just insane.
Of your own music is just nuts. Like, I mean,
yes and no. This is where I disagree, because if I'm thinking, if I'm a label and I don't know what you're gonna do, and I'm investing all this money into all my resources, and the producer needs to get paid, this guy needs to get paid, I can understand why some artists are only taking home 11%. Now, for those who are who do make it big, and like there's artists out there who just have the worst contracts. Some of these contracts I've personally seen. I remember doing deals with people, and they cut the deal short. The second I'm like, I'm not signing anything 360. They're like, well, we got nothing to talk about. Nice to meet you.
Definitely.
And good luck. They don't even want to talk. Nothing. They're like, we want to give you a big amount now. Take the money, and we want to eat for the rest of. So. But
I mean that makes sense. Like in that sense of the music, in that kind of sense, because 360 deals are the worst because they take everything, not just the music.
Exactly.
Your merch, your shows,
and you know they're taking it a step further now. They're taking it a step further now. Before it was kind of any sort of deals or income you may make from your likeness, which is your brand. Anything kind of entertainment realm. Endorsements, this, that, sponsorships. Now, they're basically saying if you are managed to do, like, let's say you do a great real estate deal, they're taking from that too. Because they say they're arguing is that you probably wouldn't have been able to make some of these connections without the brand that we built. So we want all your earnings. And some of these contracts are saying that in order, because if you're looking at an artist like Chameleonaire,
Yeah,
right? He's probably net worth close to 100 million, and probably 5 to 10 of that is his music.
Yes.
Right? But same with Nas.
Yeah,
so a lot of these artists right now, they're like, yo, fuck music.
Yeah.
We better go somewhere else. I mean, how much did 50 Cent make off that vitamin water?
It was some...
A lot.
Yeah.
Now, can you imagine if Interscope or whatever he was signed to at the time are like, yeah, you're going to recoup some of your with this vitamin water deal.
Yeah.
It was 4 to 5%. I think he took home like 100 mil or something when they sold vitamin water to Coca-Cola. So it's weird. We're in this weird realm right now where they're like, we're getting paid off of everything.
And that's why it's a good choice to stay independent, at least until you have some.
Yeah, to a degree, if you can navigate the industry, because it is very it's cutthroat, and they don't care about your feelings.
Yeah, definitely. Because I also think, like, if you are an independent artist, right?
Yeah.
And you already build a brand, you build an idea, you build a catalog, you will have a bigger advantage than the guy they find on the street and say, hey, you can be the next rapper.
Yeah.
You know.
So I always kind of go back to, from what I know, people I've talked to, a lot of people don't really know the whole story, but apparently Joyner Lucas signed before what's that? What's this big song? Am I Racist?
Am I Racist?
He signed before that blew up.
Oh.
So I know he went indie after that, but I don't know how much he got of that.
Yeah.
Because
I didn't even know.
Yeah, he signed to Atlantic before that song blew up.
Oh.
So if he signed after that, one, his check on the advance would have been nuts.
Yeah.
Two, he would have his terms would have just been way more crazy, right? I mean, we've seen a few different artists. Like, I mean, who have we seen that kind of blew up before? Okay, Arizona Zervis. I think he blew up before Roxanne took off. So, before he signed. I think Roxanne blew up, then he signed, and he would have had a great deal.
But I think same was with the Old Town Road, no?
No, I don't know about that. I don't know too much.
I think in beginning it blew up, and then they.
And then he signed.
Yeah, but
I don't even want to know what some of these guys were making.
But what is your view on Russ' approach of making a partnership with a label instead of signing?
Well, I think those days are over. No labels are doing partnerships anymore. You probably got to be. Because these partnership deals, the artists were doing great. Because not only are they sharing the profits, the labels have to share the losses as well. It's literally 50-50.
Yeah.
Right? And Russ is, well, to me, he's kind of like an independent genius. And a lot of what he did, the labels, were getting smart about. Because he did X, Y, and it's kind of like that Frank Ocean thing.
Yeah.
The second that, when he did you hear what happened with him?
Not sure.
So
the story.
What happened was he had one more album to give the label.
Okay.
So he went to label, I'm gonna do this whole visual thing, blah 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 blah, and that's when he was like just sitting on a live stream for like 5 hours doing nothing. He moved his head and everyone's like, he's doing something. Anyways, he gave like this visual album or something, and that he was done with the label. Within a week, he had a secret deal. Boom! Secret deal with Apple Music, $20 million exclusive, and the label got nothing.
Yeah.
They revised all their contracts for that. So when an independent person comes along and finds crazy loopholes and beats the label at their own game, it just gets tougher and tougher, and they smarten up.
Yeah,
they quick smart everything off that. But Russ he's like a diamond in the rough, in the sense like he's a needle in the haystack, because most people don't think like him. I've personally learned so much from watching what he's done, and I consider myself like an independent brainy when it comes to. But a lot of what he's done, the label has already smartened up about. I'm sure there's so many things that, who was he partnered with? Columbia. I'm pretty sure like a lot of their contracts they edited because of him.
Yeah,
I would. Yeah, man, they edited that shit.
Long time ago with
yeah, because I know 3 people who partnership, not people personally, but I know. What's his name? XXX, Tentacion, he partnered. I think Lil Pump partnered. I think Ross partnered. Then you had the type of deals which were way more, not even a partnership, but completely favored to the artist, which was like a Lord and a Macklemore type deal, which is where they just kind of had a distro deal. So I think, yeah, Lord and Macklemore, they had 80% of their profits and the label, but let's pretend you even get to do that. You run the risk that they're not going to prioritize anything. They're like, why are we going to prioritize this guy when we're getting 20%?
Yeah.
Like, why? So you got to be special. If you, 1, you even get the opportunity to make a deal like that, and 2, if they make good.
Yeah.
Because a lot of what's put in their contract is like, we'll do our best to ensure we give you X, Y, and Z, and they can just, the lines are way too blurred there.
Yeah. So for artists who do want to get signed, what would you say is the best today? So partnership is off the table. So what would you say that is today best approach for artists to get the best deal?
You need leverage, and to get leverage, you got to blow up by yourself. If you manage to get a record deal now, because labels are taking less risk. If you manage to get a record deal now before blowing up, your contracts are gonna be terrible. Like you may as well just take the shirt off your back, give them everything, and just tell me, where do you want me, boss?
Yeah.
So my advice is grind it out. At least 5 years. Put in 5 years.
Yeah.
If you really do it, I think within 2 to 3 you could be making a living off your music. And get in quick, because AI is coming to take your job and everybody else's job.
That's definitely going to be one of the next topics we're going to have. Because I think we have a lot to...
So we'll probably wrap it up here then.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, bro. Well, this is episode 1 of Beat Talk.
Yeah.
And many more to come. And I think a lot more episodes in the future are not even going to feature just us. We're probably going to have a lot of guests.
Definitely like to
use our connects that we've managed to build up over the years. And leave questions in the comment section of this video that we'd love to answer, maybe at the end of the video, at the end of our next episode.
Yeah, definitely. Any questions anyone have, we're going to answer, and we're going to take some of those to provide some information that we have.
Yeah, cool. I mean, your camera's there, and you keep looking at...
I'm keep looking at the main one.
The main one,
I'm just thinking this one is just creeping there.
Yeah. All right, see you next time, guys.
See you next time. Nice.
Cool. 30